Good morning, everyone. It's Kim from the Shamrock Quilt Studio, and today we're working on our Azure project. As you recall, this is a collection of blocks done solely in blue and white, and we are following loosely the patterns from the Bible quilt book. So you can find more information about that book in the introduction video for this project. So we're going to start right after this, and we're doing block number 78, Shepherd's Crossing. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back, and we're working on this Shepherd's Crossing block today. And I'm going to move these over under the view of our overhead camera so you can get a look at them. Here is the pattern drawn out and the pattern as we have it constructed today. Let me see if we can't get a little, there we go, a little bit bigger view of that. Now I have done some pre-sewing on this block because it had a lot of pieces, and we've done several blocks now, so you can kind of see how they're put together, how we do that piecing with the foundation paper piecing. And this one, let me just say, I did not follow the instructions when I put this together. I usually come up and work on a couple of blocks and try to get them to a place where I feel like we can cover some beneficial techniques in the video, but we're not spending the entire time sewing the block on the video because they get really long. And if you're anything like me and you want to see a video, you really kind of want to cut to the chase. So I find that a video between about 15 minutes and 30 minutes is a really good sweet spot to cover a lot of techniques in a video. Anything beyond that gets really in-depth, and it requires a lot of attention from the viewers, and I don't want to do that unless it's really truly necessary. But let me talk a little bit about where I went wrong on this, because I think that's the learning part. The instructions on this block have you put together the block in 4 quadrants, and it's this triangle piece here, this triangle piece here, and this triangle piece here. I did not realize that when I started putting them together. So the first thing I did was I put together this block. So I assembled this piece here and this piece and then put them together to get a square. Had I not done that and just put together the triangles for this, which would have been this, or maybe this is a better way to show you this, they would have gone together as a whole block much easier. But once it was done, it was done. And then at that point, I had to figure out how to make it go together. So I just slowly put the pieces together in a way that seemed to make sense for me. So I constructed this block, and then I added on this piece. And then I went ahead and added on this to this, and then added that to that. So I had no Y seams here. These were straight seams. And then this, I put these together. I had no Y seams. I only had a Y seam when I put this section together with this section. And same thing for the other side. So at this point now, I've got one seam that we're going to divide up into 3 parts to get it together. You could do this where you sewed a straight seam, hit the Y, a straight seam, hit the Y, and another straight seam. I might do it in 2 sections, but I'm not going to do it in 3 because I know what's going to happen. The little bit you're off in the middle is going to turn into a lot at the end. So the first thing we're going to do to put this block together is to line up the middle section of this block, and that's this to this. Because if we can get that right, we can get all of it right. And here we're going to have to kind of derive where those lines cross together. So what I'm doing, let me put it up just a little bit, is I'm lining up this line here with my diagonal, and then this line with the straight line, and I'm seeing where they're coming together. And they're not exactly the right angles, but it looks like this is where they come together. So we're going to put that in there, and then if I check, I'm going to move it over just a little bit so it ends up on that seam line. So I've got the pin here and the pin here. And then what I want to do is join it with this one. So that's how they're going to join together. So I'm going to flip this over and join this here. And I'm probably going to have the same issue here, that I'm trying to join up a point. One of them has a great area here that's marked and it's easy to see. So that's easy here. But then on this side, we've got the situation where we've kind of got a ghost connection. We've torn that paper out, so we don't know exactly how it is. But what we can do is we can line this up, and then we can line those seams up, and we get a pretty good idea. Now, clips. I am woefully short of clips up here right now because I've got 2 EPP projects going, and a lot of clips have been diverted to that project. Okay. We've got that pinned in place, and we're going to put a couple of pins this way. So we're holding it. Now, it might take 2 sewings to get these two to come together appropriately, but that's going to be the most important one. The other 2 could be off a little bit, but we'd like to get them as close as possible. So I'm going to sew between these 2 pins, and we'll see what we have. We've got a pretty good bit of paper in there. We're going to take those 2 pins out. So we're just going to go slow and steady. We're going to start on the dot that's marked, and we're just going to kind of eyeball it for that second one. Now, I am on a 2.4 stitch. That will allow me to make a tight stitch, but it is one that I can take out if I need to. Okay, I'm not going to back stitch this, but 1 stitch. Well, actually did 2. So we've got that line of stitches done. Let's see how it turned out. We're not necessarily looking for absolute perfection, but we do need something really close. So when we open that up, let me tell you what I see. I see that our middle line here is almost perfectly matched right here. And I see that our others are pretty close. I can see they're a little off here. You notice this? And that's probably going to be a problem. I'm just really trying to put those into place a little bit. I think we're going to try to sew it the way it is and see if it's close enough. And I'm going to take the side that I think is the furthest off from where it should be and try that one first. Remember, we are using a 2.4, so it's a a little bit bigger than the 1.8 we were using. Okay, I've lined that corner up. And as I said, it's the one that's the furthest off. And then I'm going to put a pin here. Okay, we'll take that one out. Let's just see how we do. We know where we need to sew to. So I'm just going to give it a shot. And we'll take a back stitch, just one, and let's see what we have. Ooh, that one came out really well. Look at that. It's a little bit off there. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but it could be that when we take the paper out, it makes a lot of difference. And here we are within 1/8 of a, ooh, we're 1/8 is way too big. We're really closer than that. So I think we're going to let this go as it is. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get that other side. And how we're doing that is we're just matching up those outside lines. See, here to here. So we've got that matched, and we're going to put a clip there. And then we're going to sew to the point where we sewed in the middle. Now, if you wanted to take the time to take the paper out, it will be easier to sew. But you'll also run the risk of having issues with it matching up. So we're going to sew this now. Okay, and then we're going to start this one back where our stitches ended for that middle section. And I'm going to take my time and figure out exactly where that is, as close as I can. All right, let's try it, see what happens. That's my motto today. Let's just try it. Okay, get our pens out. Ah, look at there, that's so nice. We've got a nice block here. We're a little bit off here. We hit this one really good over here, so we're just a little bit off in one little area. And I'll tell you, the beauty of this floral fabric is it hides a lot of the little tiny errors and places where we're off just a little bit. So I think that once this is trimmed up of its paper and pressed, we'll be in good shape. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of a break and take some of this paper off and then give it a press with a little bit of starch, and I'll be back in a minute to show you what it really looks like after it's pressed. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now I pressed this really good, and it was much easier to press than I thought it would. Getting the paper out was a little tricky because they're small little areas, but all the paper came out and it's been pressed, and here it is. I think, okay, there's your view of this nice tight shot of our shepherd's crossing, and I really like the way it looks. I want to look first at the size of this as expected. One size is a little bit smaller, and I think what I'll do is I'll put it back on and press it and stretch it out a little bit and probably run another line of, what do you call that? Basting stitches along that side because it looks like it draws in a little bit. But I think some nice pressing will work well because we are right at that 6.5 inch size. And I think that before I forget, what I'll do right now is run that line of stitches. No time like the present, right? And I'm just going to tug it just a little bit. Those seams are pressed open, but I still think that's going to keep it from ripping there and will hold our shape. And like I said, we'll just press it a little bit more, open these up just a little bit, and get it flat. A little starch will help too. But that is block number 78, Shepherd's Crossing. It was a fun block to put together. It did have a lot of pieces, and there were aspects of it that were challenging, but I think that the most challenging part we saw on film today. Now, I will point out a couple of things because I'm going to point out my errors to you so you can see when you might do something similar and help you understand maybe and make that decision whether you need to redo it or not. On mine, this point right here is the one that came together the worst. And as you can see, it would have been better if we'd have been able to pull this piece out a little bit and tuck that one in. But it is really very small. And because, like I said, this floral pattern has this white background, it kind of camouflages it a bit. So when you look at it from a straight on shot like that, you're not going to see it. And by the time you put quilting in there, you're not going to see it. So if it bothers you because you don't like it, fix it. But if you're, or let me say this, if you're going to put it in a show, you probably want to fix it. But if you just want to take it and enjoy it for yourself, and you don't notice it at that distance, I probably wouldn't change it. I'm not going to change this one. Like I said, the only thing I'm going to do is do some more pressing so that we get that nice and tight and square. That's block number 78, Shepherd's Crossing, in our Azure project. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's going to go on until we get enough blocks to put together a nice size wall hanging on this. Or it could also be a child-size blanket, I think, by the time we're done. But it's enjoyable, and for me, it's teaching me things, and it's keeping me on target with learning new projects and learning new techniques, and also how to problem solve, because sometimes the instructions don't make sense to me, or I misread it like I did on this one, and I'm trying to find new solutions to those problems. Join us in 2 weeks and we'll have a new block for our Azure project, and I think that one is going to be that new block is going to be Tree of Life, and we'll probably get going on that really soon. And it is one with a lot of little pieces, so if you like that kind of challenge, you'll be looking forward to this one. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. You know where, at the Shamrock Quilt Studio. Bye.